Capstone Full Stack Restaurant Application Video Presentation Part 2. In this part, we're going to talk about the database and API. I had lots of trouble with MongoDB in my environment, so I just used the default SQLite 3 database with Strapi. For this project, the following tables are persisted in the database. There's a user table used by sign up and the login functionality. New user is stored in this table. Restaurants table contains all the list of restaurants. Dishes contain the list of dishes, and every dish has a foreign key constraint to the restaurant table. Orders contains all the orders successfully placed. It contains the information about the user who placed the order, the JSON object for all the dishes in this order, and it also contains the charge ID returned from the Stripe payment system. For this project, it's pretty straightforward. I did not need to add too much new stuff for the database part, and I did not refactor anything from the starter code. The only challenge I encountered is for the user. There are two roles, like a public role and authenticated role, and I did not expect that authenticated role did not have all the privilege granted to a public role automatically. So for the new user, I signed up in my application, they cannot make a Stripe payment because they don't have the necessary privilege. And then I have to add all the privilege, granted to public role to the authenticated role as well, and that solves the problem. And then for the API, I think this project we use both RESTful API and GraphQL API. Let me show you here. Like here for the restaurant list, this is a GraphQL API hits on the restaurant endpoints. In dishes, there's another hits on the restaurant endpoint, but here we can filter by the ID. But for this auth API here, auth local register and auth local, I think this is a RESTful API. This is a special API because I couldn't find it in the backend API. So this is probably handled differently. Like in the API, I can find a dish or the restaurant, but I cannot find this. So this is probably handled differently. And another API, which is in the order, in the order, which this is a special API. This is hit by the front end, like checkout form. In checkout form, it hits this order API, and this is a RESTful API, and it goes back to the order.js, which is a controller. This is a special API. It's not like a restaurant and the dishes API, which are probably generated automatically by the Strapi tooling. So this is special because you have to write your own like a controller, because this will first talk to the Stripe database, make a payment, and after that it will insert a row to your Strapi order database. So this works differently. For the API documentation, I think like here you have your like a get post, so you can get all the orders or get an order by ID. So that's pretty much all the endpoint here in dish order. Let's see. So this, I think, this has covered the database and API used in this project. Thank you.